Nobody likes a runny nose, especially when it's persistent or due to allergies and just won't go away. However, having a runny nose for over 2 years is extreme, but for one woman named Kendra Jackson, that's exactly what happened. Jackson had been suffering from a constantly dripping and runny nose. She knew something more was going on than having a cold or suffering from allergies. However, no doctor would take her seriously. It wasn't until this year that Jackson finally received the medical attention she needed. When it first started out, I just thought it was my allergies or a runny nose, like the beginning of a fresh cold, Jackson said. When it didn't go away, I kept going back and forth to the doctors, and they prescribed every kind of medicine you can think of, and my nose just kept on running. It was eventually revealed that Jackson was suffering from a cerebrospinal fluid leak caused by a small hole in her skull. The hole may have been caused by a car accident Jackson was involved in 2.5 years earlier, where she suffered some minor head trauma. Cerebrospinal fluid is a clear fluid that surrounds the brain. It protects both the brain and spinal cord and helps to remove any waste materials while distributing nutrients and other substances to the central nervous system. While CSF is constantly produced in the brain, it is normally absorbed into the bloodstream. However, in Jackson's case, it was leaking through a thin bone that separates the cranial and nasal cavities, dripping into her mouth and nose. According to Dr. Christy Barnes, a rhinologist at Nebraska Medicine and a lead surgeon on the case, the bone in this area is very thin, less than the size of a potato chip. And it's one of the most common locations for this type of a CSF leak. Barnes also revealed that Jackson would wake up in the morning after sleeping upright in a chair, and the whole front of her shirt was wet with fluid. It was a lot of fluid. Jackson had been leaking up to half a liter of fluid a day. CSF leaks can be life-threatening, depending on the amount of fluid loss. They also increase the risk for meningitis and severe brain infections. CSF is a fluid that actually bathes the brain. Because the skull is a fixed box and the brain is a nice soft organ, it needs to be protected from moving around inside that hard box, said Barnes. So it actually provides a cushion for the brain and the spinal cord. A CSF leak is rare, occurring in just 5 out of 100,000 people worldwide each year. A minimally invasive surgical procedure is required to repair the leak. In Jackson's case, tissue from her nose and abdomen was used to plug the hole. Barnes explained, "I used tissue from the inside of her nose to plug the leak. I also borrowed some abdominal fat, it makes a great plugging agent in this location, so with just a tiny bit of fat, I was able to plug the leak." Now Jackson is free from her runny nose but wants others to be aware of what happened to her. For people who hear my story, if they're tasting a very salty taste and something's draining in the back of your throat, it's probably something other than allergies. So get to the doctor, she says.
Please share this video with friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories.